Hey up everyone, Magpie Gaming here. I hope you're all doing well. So I was recently asked by a viewer if I thought that DLSS would still come to Escape from Tarkov, given that Nvidia has temporarily maybe pulled out of Russia for the time being. Would that have any effect on DLSS coming to Escape from Tarkov? And personally, I don't think it will. It's a perfectly valid question to ask though, given that Nvidia has pulled out of Russia for now. But I think it's just hardware sales that's going to impact. Obviously, you're not going to be able to buy a Founders Edition graphics card or any of the other hardware that Nvidia do in Russia at the moment. But I think from a graphics card point of view, it won't really make a difference in that country because third-party vendors such as Asus, Gigabyte, MSI, etc. are all still selling in Russia as far as I am aware anyway. I'm not 100% on that. They might have stopped as well, but as far as I know, they still are. But DLSS, as per Nikita's last podcast that he was live in, is ready to go in Escape from Tarkov. He said it's done. They're just waiting to get it out there. And Mr. Nice Guy, who does similar videos to me, he did a video on this last week and he said he doesn't think that it'll change anything with the current situation and he thinks that it will be in the next update. And I've got to agree with that. I think it will be coming very soon, but when is the big kicker here? We don't know when it will come. But I don't know the ins and outs of how a games developer goes about putting DLSS into their game. Obviously there has to be collaboration between them and Nvidia and obviously those that develop the graphics engine as well. The knowledge that I have, which is very hazy, is that Unity doesn't work too well with DLSS, or you don't get a massive performance boost out of it, but that might have changed. I'm sure that there is workings going on behind the background to make that kind of work, but I don't think that the current situation that we've got going on will affect DLSS. I think it will definitely still come out. If there was to be any kind of pullback from Nvidia regarding this, I'm assuming that Escape from Tarkov will still have DLSS in. I think Battlestate will still push it out in an update, but if Nvidia was to say, right, we're going to suspend everything, we're not going to provide updates and things like that, which I think would be really petty, and I don't think that's the route that they will go down, but I think we would still get DLSS in Escape from Tarkov, but we probably wouldn't get any updates to it from then on in. That's if Nvidia really wanted to be petty. Obviously, us as consumers, we get the graphics driver updates, which obviously have the latest versions of DLSS included in them for the various games that are supporting it. I would also assume that the DLSS for the games is updated between Nvidia and the games developers as well, but like I say, if Nvidia wanted to be really petty, they could say, right, we're not going to provide you with the update, so that could then render DLSS useless in Escape from Tarkov if graphics drivers update, and obviously Escape from Tarkov isn't using the latest iteration of DLSS, but like I say, that's very petty, it's pie in the sky. I really don't think that they would go to that extreme of punishing games developers in Russia for what is currently going on. But then you can say, well, why have they pulled out with hardware sales, etc.? I think, to be fair, they're doing it as a token gesture to go along with other sort of bigger industry people that have done the same, such as IBM and Microsoft, etc. I think Nvidia just felt like they had to do it so they didn't get pressure put on them. They do have offices in Russia. What's happening with those staff, I do not know. It might be that they're still going in and working every day, or it could be that, like other firms such as I think McDonald's, they've sent all their staff home on pay, and you know, that's that for the time being. But the original question, do I think DLSS will have any issues coming to Escape from Tarkov because of the current situation? No, I don't think it will. I think it'll still come out. I think everything will be fine. Obviously, it's mutually beneficial to Nvidia and Battlestate to have DLSS in the game. Obviously, for us, the players that have an RTX card, it makes for a better gaming experience, and obviously for Nvidia it gets their technology out there on another game that's seen by a huge audience, and potentially I suppose they expect that it might push sales of their RTX cards, etc. So I don't think that there'll be any issues there, to be honest. But the $64 million question is, when will we get DLSS? And we really just don't know. Yesterday, which was the 27th of March, Nikita came live again across social media. He posted on Twitter and he posted on Instagram. He's not posted at all for around a month now, I think just over a month, since everything started in the Ukraine. He's kept very, very quiet. Why he has decided now to become vocal again, I don't know. He's not saying anything about the war, he's just posting general stuff, like he goes to the gun range, so he'd posted some pictures from the gun range, etc. But it's good to see that everything is still alright with him, and hopefully everything else at Battlestate Games is okay too. So it could be that maybe we get some more information on what we're going to be getting with the game in the coming months, because it's been very quiet. So, and it would be good to know some things about what's going on, especially when we're going to get another update, when we will get DLSS, etc, etc. How's things going with Streets of Tarkov? Are there going to be any expansions? He's already said previously that they wouldn't be working on any expansions, but you know, you never know. Like I always say in a lot of videos, you can't second guess battle state games because they just change their minds on, you know, on a dime. So, but we'll see. But yeah, I don't think there'll be any issues with DLSS coming into the game. I think it will still be coming, and hopefully it gives us a good performance boost. I know that it kind of leaves the AMD guys out in the cold for a little bit, but I do know that battle state games are working on the competing technology FSR, and they will be bringing that to the game at some point, so they won't be left out for very long. And like I've said previously, because they are working on the AMD FSR, it could be that they decide to launch them both at the same time, so that there can be no sort of people going, well, we've got Nvidia cards, we can game better than you, or people saying that it gives people with Nvidia cards an advantage in the game. I really don't think it will, but you know, it rules out that argument if they release both of those things at the same time. So that could be why we haven't seen DLSS yet. I don't really know, but we'll wait and see. On a slightly different note, I have seen today that there is leaked specs for the 4000 series of the Nvidia cards, and I've got to say that I will be giving these cards a wide berth. I've given the 3000 series cards a wide berth. I did originally want to get a 3080 Ti, but the prices here in the UK are still just ridiculous. Obviously you can't get hold of a Founders Edition card at all. I don't even think they're making them anymore. You have to go for a third party one, so that's Asus, Gigabyte, MSI, all the others, and I think the lowest price I've seen thus far for one is around £1,200, when the recommended retail price for a Founders Edition was £1,050. So they're getting very, very close to this sort of recommended retail price. Obviously you're going to pay a little bit more because you're getting RGB and a custom cooler, but in terms of performance I don't think there's much difference between them. But I've seen the specs for the 4000 and they're saying that it's gonna take up, it will be a minimum of 3.5 slots in your case, so that's one beefy card. I mean, I know that some of the 3090s and the 3080s indeed can take up 3.5 slots, but this is going to be a minimum. By the sounds of it, they won't be able to trim it down. I think the Founders Edition is going to be 3.5 slots wide, and it's going to need upwards of 600 watts in power, which is absolutely crazy. I think when I run mine, I've got a 2080 Ti at the moment. When I run that and it's going full pelt, I think I'm drawing around 350 watts, and that's it. To say that it's going to be that power hungry is just insane. Seems to be that they just want to cobble together the biggest, massivest, beastiest cards that they can get, and I think gamers again are going to pay the price for miners wanting these cards. I think these cards, whilst they'll be packaged and aimed at gamers, I think also they're going to be sort of behind the scenes aimed at miners. Now, how well you can mine with graphics cards at the moment, I don't know. I know that one of the reasons the prices are dropping is because this you're not getting a great return mining on the 3000 series at the moment. But if these 4000 series cards are a big leap in performance, it could be that it then becomes profitable to mine on graphics cards again. So I think maybe they're going to be skewed and aimed at these people, which is crazy, but I will be skipping that anyway. I think this 2080 Ti that I've got will be getting run into the ground, especially the way things are going, unless AMD come out with something that looks a little bit better and a little bit more palatable, sort of power consumption wise. We'll have to wait and see. One thing I have noticed is recently I've been looking for a new screen. I was thinking of maybe going to a 34-inch screen or maybe a 38, something like that. I wanted to maybe go super wide, and the vast majority of monitors all support AMD FreeSync, but the ones that support G-Sync natively anyway seem to be very few and far between and very expensive. So I think there's a lot going against Nvidia at the moment. So yeah, this 2080 Ti is going to get run into the ground for now, but hopefully with DLSS coming out, I'll get a good performance boost on it anyway. Tarkov is the main game that I play, so if I get a good performance boost from that, I don't need a 3000 series card or a 4000 series card, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about anything that I've said in this video. I can get a conversation going about it. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.